Okay, y'all. Hi there. It is Jenny Fenig. I am so thrilled to be with you today, right now, for Coach Magic. We are going to have an incredible time together. I have a special guest for you today, and her name is Belinda Curtis. Welcome to the show, everyone. Let me just tell you a little bit more about Coach Magic. Why are we doing what we're doing? And then I will tell you about our incredible guest. So, over the last 3 decades, Belinda Curtis has worked in the legal, beauty, and caregiving fields all at the same time. First as a single mom, then as a wife and mother of a blended family with 5 kids. She pulls from these experiences in her current role as a coach, speaker, and change strategist. I had the opportunity to meet Belinda not this year, last year, actually, back in 2020, because she joined our coach certification, Magic Makers coach certification. She is such a gift. She has a gift and she is here to share it. This is my brand new show, Coach Magic. I am interviewing some incredible coaches so they can share their gems of wisdom with you. Coaching has been my craft since 2008. I'm really passionate about helping coaches succeed. I love seeing people like Belinda getting out there and using their talent, saying, this is my time. I have something to say. I have people I want to help. I have a life story that can serve my community, because that's really what we have. All these things that happen to us is we can transmute them into content. We can transmute our experiences into the way we serve, into the way we lead. Belinda is going to share some tips. Not only she's going to share more about her journey, but she's going to share some tips on increasing your peace in your head and in your home. I also got a chance to get to know Belinda because she was part of my program about becoming a really powerful online speaker called Magnetic. And she certainly is a powerful online speaker. You're going to get a feel for her today. And let's get going. Welcome to the show, Belinda.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh, good. Well, I am excited that you are here. And anyone who is tuning in live or by replay, go ahead and say hi in the comments. Oh, you can appreciate this, Belinda. Lori Gibson, Washington, is here in the audience.
Hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori. Awesome to see you here. I just want to, just acknowledge everyone out there right now, especially this week. Belinda and I were talking. She has some family in Texas. I have some family in Texas. I was just reaching out to my cousin today to see how she's doing. They live in Houston. Any of you out there right now who are going through a hard
Yes.
time, who are struggling, sending you so much love. Right before we went live for this episode, I told Belinda my Facebook started, the messaging started, binging and pinging. And I have a dear colleague from my public relations executive days who has passed away from COVID. And so it's just, life is crazy. Life is intense. And yet, as Glennon Doyle says, life is beautiful. I was reading an article about her this morning. Some of y'all might be familiar with her work. And so we come together today as coaches and leaders and people who care about the future of our world. So, Belinda, let's go back and let's talk more about your journey, especially when it comes to your career, because coaching is a career. It's a path. It's a path we get on because we want to help people. But what did you initially decide to do when you went into the work world?
Well, when I initially went into the work world, I started off in office work and
Mhm.
dabbled in legal work and circuitously I worked in the same building in college as I currently work in. And it was a wonderful journey and I loved the help and the support in the community. So after several office jobs, I finally settled on being a legal assistant because like I said, it was exciting and it covered such an expanse of topics that it was exciting. It didn't get boring. And
Mhm.
I'm distracted by shiny objects, but as long as I have a lot of things going on, I'm, you know, that's good for me
Mhm.
to have my hands in more than one pot.
Right. Okay. I get it. That's very much the journey I went on too, which was I needed to find work that kept my interest because
Yes.
I get easily bored. And when I feel like, okay, I've learned everything I'm meant to learn here, it's time for me to go off and do something else. That's usually what I do. And I have to say, when I discovered coaching all those years ago, again, my first career was in public relations. And then I moved into a thing I didn't even know existed, which was conference production. I was like, okay, I'll
Hmm.
put this on for a spin. And then eventually said, okay, I'm done here too. Went into my love of yoga. And then boom, I discovered coaching. I said, oh, wow, this is a thing. I didn't even know it was a job. It is a job. It's called coaching. Awesome.
Right.
And I have to say, ever since 2008, well, I'm still here. This is the longest I've ever been able to do something.
Fabulous.
Yeah. And so it really has been this awesome career path that I don't get bored. I don't get bored. There's always something new to learn. And it really is this cool examination of human behavior, of how people are able to be motivated, how they're able to
Absolutely.
show up. You might be able to see my husband outside my back window. He's motivated by ice and snow. So he's out there spinning on our, we have like a hockey rink in our, if anyone sees like, who's that person who's bopping in and out? So you and I met because you joined our coach certification last year. So what for
Yes.
you piqued your interest around coaching? What was it that you said, I think that has my name on it?
Well, I had been coaching in a different realm. As I said before, I
Hmm.
need to have my hand in a couple different things, and
Hmm.
I was also working in the field of skincare and cosmetics,
Hmm.
and had developed a team and loved teaching and training
Hmm.
women and excelling in that area. And as time came to pass, several individuals in my family, first being my father and then my mom, and as well as my former husband, developed conditions, injuries that necessitated, caregiving.
Hmm.
And I wound down because the philosophy in that realm was God, family, career. And as much as I loved it and doing it, it was a time where family had to come first. So
Hmm.
I wound that down
Hmm.
and stepped up the caregiving.
Hmm.
And during the last few years of my mom's life, I just felt a nudge because I needed a lot of help. I didn't have a lot of resources. And when I came across resources, there weren't people necessarily with my experience or that looked like me that
Hmm.
could give me references in order to know how to proceed.
Hmm.
And I wanted to start when my mom was still living, actually, supporting and working in the caregiving field as a leader and as a resource and as a support. But I didn't know how to do that and still preserve her dignity because my mom was the diva. When you saw her, she was fly. She had the hat, the bag, the bling. She was always well put together. So I wanted her to preserve her memory in that way. And after she passed 13 months ago. Tomorrow would have been her 94th birthday.
Wow. Happy
I
birthday.
Happy birthday, Mama. This was started and spurred on by you, and I dedicate this work to you.
Mm.
When she ultimately left us, I found myself grieving so hard. I
Mhm.
said, I can't stay in this space. I have to channel this energy. I have to move this energy and use it for good and find purpose in her journey
Mhm.
and our experiences. And so a friend suggested, well, why don't you write a book? And I started making notes, but I wasn't working on it consistently. And as time passed and months passed, Lori and I had a conversation, and she told me about some work she was doing with you
Mhm.
and that you were having a program. And I just looked you up, and just on a whim, I said, well, you know what? I want to serve.
Mhm.
And this looks like a good vehicle for me to start that and launch that.
Mhm.
And I submitted my application and I was accepted, thankfully. Yay. And as they say, the rest is history. Magnetic speaker, I've spoken since I was a child. So
Mhm.
speaking, that was a piece that I knew I wanted to add as
Mhm.
well. So
Mhm.
magnetic speaker was a natural
Mhm.
course.
Mhm.
And so I love the program. I love the environment
Mhm.
of women in the community that you've built, and the way that you nudge, but you nudge firmly, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. And
Mhm.
you have a very keen eye for talents and for framing things that works well for all of us in collaboration, but all also for us individually. And it's a
Mhm.
very unique talent, and
Mhm.
you use it very well. And we appreciate you for that.
Well, I receive that. I appreciate you so much. It's such a gift when as a creator, and you are a creator too, Belinda, when you say, okay, I want to put this out there. This is how I want to serve. I want to serve by putting out this program. I want to teach like you. You get it. You love to teach. You love to train. You like to bring people together and help them grow. So you put something out there and you can imagine who it's right for. You can imagine
Mhm.
someone receiving this, and then when someone like you sees it, especially being connected through the amazing Lori Gibson Washington, I mean that really is like the when everything just comes to a crescendo. And so for
Yeah.
everyone tuning in and watching, I want to encourage you, and I know Belinda wants to encourage you as well, to really trust those nudges that are inside of you, to serve, to create, to put your work out there, to put your voice out there, to get out there and speak, to say, if I want to coach, here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it through a program. I'm going to get out and do Facebook Lives. I mean, there's so many different ways. And thank you so much for sharing about your mother, and how profound that, her birthday is right, right here. It was
Yes.
like, this was
Yes.
her moment. The end of this month is the anniversary of my sister's passing. And so February
Mhm.
is a very significant time for me as well. And again, just, having seen that message just pop up literally right when we're about to go live, I'm like, what, and all these things. And I mean, people who work with me or have ever tuned into my stuff know that I just go there, the discussion about death. Some people are very afraid to talk
Mhm.
about death. It's like, oh, I don't want to go there. And I get it because it's an intense
Right.
topic. But here's the deal, y'all. We're all going to die. We're all going to
Yes.
die. This
Yes.
is a guarantee. This body is on loan. We're going to give it back. This is a temporary situation that we're in right now. And so
Mhm.
what we have the opportunity to do is live while we are here. Really say, I don't
Absolutely.
know how long I have, but while I am here, while I have these gifts inside of me, while I have this voice, while I have these hands, this mind, this heart, I am going to do something with it. So, tell us more, Belinda. You gave us a really awesome talk when you came through our magnetic program while you were still in Magic
Thank
Makers
you.
Coach certification. And P.S. Y'all, Belinda's also going to be stepping forward into my mastermind, which is called Glow. I'm so thrilled to have her. This is going to be, anything I do is just really with my eye on how this can serve my audience. I know where they are because I've been there. Okay. I've been there. I know what it feels like. And I know what it feels like also to be trying to figure it out on your own, or trying to just kind of piece it together with random stuff you find on the internet. There's an opportunity that we can take where you step into an energizing container and you get guidance from
Mhm.
someone who's been there. And so Belinda has shown to me that she's really serious about her path and her mission and this message. And one of the things that Belinda, has so much experience with, and I want to give you an opportunity, Belinda, to just share some of your nuggets and gems with our audience today, is this whole message around increasing your peace at home and in your head. A lot of people right now, I mean, even when we're not in COVID, okay?
Right.
Life is
Absolutely.
challenging. We've got kids at home, we've got maybe elderly parents at home. We're dealing with life and the highs and the lows and everything else. And as I always say to people too, it's a lot of it's out of our control. I mean, so
Right.
much is out of our control. And so, what are some of the uh, tips that you'd like to share with our audience today on how, if people are feeling really overwhelmed and stressed and just like, what is the point of everything? I can't get ahead. What are some things they can do to increase their peace?
Well, first, just pause. Just stop where you are. And I know that sometimes sounds very difficult to do because we feel like we have to keep going on this virtual perpetual hamster wheel.
Mhm.
But in order to reorder and recalibrate, we've just got to at some point just say, hold it, wait a minute, and stop and pause. And in the program, we have a three-step system,
Mhm.
and you just take inventory. What's working, what's not working, what do you want to do, what do you not want to do. And once you start to break things down and put them in and recategorize and recalibrate, then you can start to design a system and a strategy that works for you and for your family. It does not have to conform
Mhm.
to societal norms, to gender norms, to roles, to how mama did it, how society as a whole traditionally does it. It just has to work for you, and it has to bring you joy, and it has to work for your family. And when everybody works together, decides together, and implements together how you decide to play this full out, then everybody's stress level is reduced and your peace increases.
Mhm.
Because one thing that I do point out is that psychologically, according to Psychology Today, when you're engaging in activities that you don't enjoy, you start to resent it. And that resentment has physical, emotional, and long effects, long living effects that it has on your body and in your mind. And if you can just stop and pause and start to reverse those, then you not only help yourself to have more peace of mind, but you can decrease cortisol, you can increase your physical health and improve your physical health. And that's bottom line, that's what we all want to do. We want to live our best life in our best body in the best way possible.
Mm.
And increasing your peace is a great start.
Oh yes, I love that. And when y'all, Belinda gave a snippet of this talk in this program that she joined with me, and just listening to you talk about it, Belinda, I felt more relaxed. And I just, first off, love the name, increase your peace. Anything that rhymes, I mean, you pretty much have got me. But that's really what
Me
we're
too.
looking
Me
for,
too.
right? I mean, but those are the things
Yes.
too. This is marketing speak too. This is definitely what we cover, when you come through really any of my programs. But where Belinda started with me was Magic Makers Coach Certification, which really lays that foundation for what is it to be a coach? What really is that craft? Anyone can call themselves a coach, but what is it? Like who are you when you're a coach? What are the tools that you have? What are the skill sets? What are some ways that you can work with your clients? And then also, how do you protect yourself energetically from burnout, from not having the
Absolutely.
right boundaries, from not having the right policies and procedures, not taking on your client's energy, because that's what a lot of empathic people do, which is what most coaches are. We are empathic. And so, if you're not really confident in this craft and you haven't given it its due, then you can very easily get sick because you've just taken on more than you need
Right.
to, more that is healthy. And so, I just want to commend you, Belinda, for going through, so diligently, really, as a student and as a client, like showing up full force, no matter if you were, at home or in your outside at your office. Like, I knew Belinda was showing up. Like, you were showing up on calls, or you're going to watch the replay, you're going to participate in the group. And I
Thank
really
you.
want to make a point on that for everybody. I mean, when you go through programs, I mean, sometimes you don't need to listen to every single thing. You get what you need from however you play it, however you do it. But I want to encourage people, when you step forward into something, to really bring your full self. It's like what you said, Belinda, decide to play this full out, like at home with your family, however you're going to do your business. Because what I see some people do, whether it's they join a program, they hire a coach, they decide to be in a relationship, you get in and then you freak out.
Right,
And you go, oh, look at all these people. They must be further along than me. They must know more than me. Maybe I don't belong here. Maybe I'm, and we kind of spin these tales in our head.
right.
So we need to watch that as ourselves if we might be a client in something. And then we need to watch this too as coaches, when our clients might do this, because that's a sabotaging behavior. That's something where
Yes.
that inner critic is talking to them, and just saying things that really aren't going to get them to where they want to be. What for you, Belinda, are you most excited about as you look ahead to where you're going to be, taking your business this year and beyond? What has your heart right now?
Mm, what has my heart right now is the unlimited possibilities. I'm starting to branch out and actually let people know that this is my next chapter. This is where I'm going. This is what I've decided to do. And people are like, oh my God, this is so needed. And I've been kind of hanging back because there are people that do this, but as you so aptly put it in the program, nobody can tell your story like you. Nobody can deliver your message like you. So whatever has been given to me, uh, I want to channel that. And that is actually my prayer, is for it to be taken from God. I call it God. Some people call it spirit. Some people call it the universe. But I want to channel whatever it is that is meant to flow through me. I want to channel that effectively to empower and elevate and uh, lift others. And whatever, the chips will fall where they may, but whoever I'm meant to help, they will get it.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And
And I went to yeah, tell me. Say, yeah, go with what we were going with.
I'm just really, really excited. Part of my affirmation is to embrace, empower, and elevate people. And that's really, now that I think back on it, this is just something that I've always done. I'm just
Totally.
taking who I am to the next level. If you said you wanted to start a photography business, I had a plan. And
Mhm.
if you wanted to do something else, I had a plan. I always could help people and encourage people. And well, if that's what you want to do, then have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? So it's almost like the logical next step is for me to take it to another level. And I'm
Totally.
very, very excited.
Oh, as you should be. As you should be. You are rocking it. And I understand that feeling distinctly. And that's what I get so excited about, why I decided to start our own coach certification. Prior to it being Magic Makers coach certification, the previous incarnation was Get Gutsy Coach Training School. We train a lot of coaches in that program. And then I got the clear signal, like that channel from God, from the universe, like it was time to evolve into where I was feeling called to go and really embodying what it is to be a magic maker, saying I have these gifts inside of me. I can share these gifts. I can put out my energy and I can really create anything that I desire. And so hence we evolved into what we are now. And it it never gets old to see that transformation, to see that light go on when you realize I've been doing this my whole life. I was always that person who was saying, "Oh, well, have you, like what you just said? Have you thought about this? What about that?" Da, da, da. That happened for me when I realized, because I loved working. Like I had no problem
Yeah.
working. I look back, I'm like, I did not want to work. I loved working. I loved my colleagues. I loved solving problems. I loved these projects and just figuring stuff out. But it was some of the things that I did at work that I didn't want to do. You know, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I
Yeah.
want to help people figure things out. Like I want to
Right.
be a thinking
Absolutely.
partner. I want to be creative together. I want to make something and put it out there and help people. But all this other stuff, like I'm done with that. I learned what I needed to learn. And so when I
Right.
finally realized, like, oh, you can do just that, Jenny. That's called coaching. That was to me one of the best days of my life because I felt before then something was wrong with me. I can never be satisfied. I should just be happy that I'm well employed. I'm making good money. I'm good at what I do. I got a nice family, all that. But what I have found to be true, and I want people to really take this in, is that you cannot run from that voice inside of you. You can think you can run a good game.
Yes.
You can play it. You're like, oh no, it's good. I'm gonna run over here. I might like numb out over here and try to do this other thing. But when you really are connected to that inner voice, that higher
Mhm.
power, eventually you're going to surrender and you're going to realize that it's
Exactly.
much better to do it like that because that's really when you have said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be all in. And like what you
Exactly.
said, Belinda, was you going to let the chips fall where they may.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And as we have talked about, that was my journey. I knew that I was supposed to do something more. And the universe taps you on it whispers to you first, then it taps you on the shoulder, then it smacks you upside the head. And I
Mm,
remember distinctly on New Year's Eve 2019, excuse me, 2019, yes,
was
when
coming
we
to
were in the
2020.
emergency room, it came across my Twitter feed that if you share your experiences, you are going to help somebody. And I'm like, really? Okay, so the universe is really like, okay, uh, the jig is up. You keep avoiding this, but it's going to keep coming back until you surrender.
Mhm.
And that was, I give,
Totally.
I give.
And 2020 was one for the record books, with just everything. And then, of course, with COVID. And I just want to witness you, Belinda, and acknowledge you for
Yes,
honoring that call and saying, okay, I'm going to go for it. And I'm so glad you joined Magic Makers Coach Certification. You brought so much energy and life and passion
thank
to the
you.
group and with what we did together in Magnetic and where we're going to go now in this mastermind. I'm very grateful for you. I'm grateful for you sharing your message. I know you're going to help. So you already have, but you're going to continue to help and bless so many people by you just getting
Thank
out there
you.
and going, I'm doing this. And I love that you let people know what you're doing. Hey, I'm doing this. Because here's the deal, friends. You will not grow your business, especially when you're newer at a business, doing business with your enemies. Okay. So you are going to let people know, your friends and your family and those connected to you, what you're up to. Do not keep that hidden. Don't be that best kept secret. And here's also the deal people need to know is that not everyone is going to be able to, quote, support you in the way that you think they might or that you hope they might. Some people might be feeling a little jealous that you're doing the thing that they are unable to do. They're not letting them do for some reason. Some are maybe afraid for you. And so they're going to, put some of that on you. It's important that we share our joy and not worry that the whole world might not support us. And it's also important to get that support from other people who are on this path, especially entrepreneurs, which is what us coaches are. We are entrepreneurs. We are doing things, independently, getting support from those structures that can help hold us up
Yes,
and help us
yes,
grow. And I think, some people don't realize that at first. And then they're like, well, my so and so friend, like I thought she was going to be all, but she never commented or blah blah blah. And trust me, I just have to be real on this. I've had friendships come to an end, friendships that from way back where you might be going in a certain direction and not everyone's going to be able to come with you. But the question for everyone has to be, do you want to help people as much as you do? Do you know that you have this thing inside of you and that you will always know yourself whether or not you really went for it. That has to be your own litmus test for yourself. Did I really do what I came here to do? And I will tell you, Belinda and everyone else, you're going to go on the ride of your life. Belinda, you have an amazing year in front of you, an amazing
Thank
decade
you.
in front of you. Like, oh my goodness, I just can see it. I can see all of these incredible things happening. So, Belinda, where can people find you on the line? How can they get in touch with you?
You can find me at belindascurtis.com.
All
And
right.
all of my social media is attached in the site, so you can find me, you can contact me directly there, or you can follow me on one of my social media pages and DM me. But whoever you are, I'm excited to work with you, and we're going to support and share and empower, embrace, and elevate each other.
Yes. And I
and
checked
and
out your
I
website.
oh yay.
I look good.
And I cannot leave this room without saying a special thank you to Lori Gibson Washington and her mom, Auntie Clyde, because without their friendship and their love, I would not even be sitting in this chair.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I
And
just want,
and
I
yes,
have to
I
do that.
echo that. And I first met Lori through Glow Mastermind. I ran that thing a few years.
Wow.
Yes, that was what I met her. She came in and she just blew me away with just because she's Lori.
Yes.
And so and so that's a program I'm bringing back because it's so, so powerful. And so anyone who's tuning in right now who is ready to really step into your calling as a coach, please come check out what we're doing in Magic Makers Coach Certification. That's where Belinda first joined my community and really, showed what a leader she is to me. She's been one her whole life, but I got to see her in action. That's magicmakerscoach.com. Our next program is starting in March, and we're going to have an amazing, amazing journey. And for those of you who are already coaches, you're consultants, like you're at a certain level and you're ready to go higher, you can message me about the Mastermind Glow, which I'm going to be leading. Again, Belinda's going to be in there. We have an incredible road in front of me, in front of us, well, in front of me too. But I take it seriously anytime I lead something because, I change right alongside my clients. Like it to me is this very, very powerful experience that we're in together. And so I'm very tuned into whatever I'm going to lead because I know it requires all of me. And that particular program, what we're focused on is really aligning your content, your offers, your energy, and your relationships. Because in order to get to where you want to be, you've got to really get that all dialed in. So it is my privilege and pleasure to get to do what I do. I love supporting coaches. Belinda, you're amazing. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on
So are you,
Coach
Jenny.
Magic today. Lori's here in the comments, just celebrating with us right now. I'll tell y'all, you're going to meet some of the coolest people in your life when you step onto this road. I know some of what we might see on social media can seem a bit, sometimes I see coach stuff and it seems maybe a bit catty or some of this and some of that going on. But I will tell you, I've met some of the greatest people, the most just genuine, supportive people as I have decided to pursue my calling of coaching, to really step into who I am as a leader and to really help other incredible leaders rise up as well. So for those of you who want to do something like this but are scared, just don't let that fear rule you. You've got to let your desire to help people, your people, not the whole, you don't have to help the whole
Yes.
world, your people, the people out there looking for you right now. Let that desire be bigger than your fear of rejection, your fear of not being perfect, because you don't need to be, or your fear of being visible. It will be worth it. Okay. Thank you again, everyone. You all are amazing. Go check out Belinda. BelindaSCurtis.com. Go check us out at magicmakerscoach.com, and we will see you for our next episode of Coach Magic. Be well, everyone. Keep making your
Have a
magic. Show
great
them your
day.
mug, Belinda. Show them your mug before we go. This is your mug when you come in and join us. I'm all about the mugs. Here's another one we sent to clients because you know what? They make life more fun. And you are
Yes.
magic. And we need those
And
reminders. Okay.
yes,
All
we
right,
do.
everyone. Be well. Much love. Until next time.
Bye.